Oh, girl.
Because I know that when that Gemini be Geminiing,
It's severe. It's very severe.
Welcome to Rock is Reality. Get ready for unfiltered and unapologetic culture, entertainment, relationships, and a little bit of politics on Motor City Woman Radio. Follow Rock is Reality on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. In the meantime, let's go.
oh my God, we start talking already. I love it. Hey, Mahogany.
Hey, boo.
Yeah. Okay. Snaps. This is I have to get this out the way. I told TT from the D the other day. She has a podcast as well. Dope. I gotta connect you with her. She's dope. But she's Swifty McVeigh's wife.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
So, but she does a ton of other stuff too. But she has a podcast, and I was just like, I'm having Mahogany Jones on, and I said, I have such a girl crush on her. I have such a girl crush on you because your artistry is just astounding. So, welcome back.
Thank you for having me. No, I love this. I love you, one of my favorite people. And it's so funny because it was instant. I remember meeting you, and we met at Motor City Women, wasn't it?
Yep. You came on my first show when we were talking about the uprising, the 19U and Eric
Piper.
Thomas, and I forgot who was
Piper with me. Was I with Piper?
I don't think so. Did we? Or yeah, you did come back when we did the show about hip hop. I think it was you, Piper, and Con Davidson was in.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But before that, it was the other guy, Eric Thompson. That's true.
Yep. Yeah. So my fellow fire sign, that's part right, because you a Leo, I'm an Aries. We, we're
not here for it. We ready to burn it down.
So we. And see, my daughter is one, so y'all takes care of business too. Y'all handles business. That's what I love about it too, girl. My baby just right quick. I gotta shout out my baby. She just got an internship for this summer at Johns Hopkins University. Yeah. So she's already a freshman at Spelman. So she's almost done with her freshman year at Spelman, and she's going to be interning at Johns Hopkins. So claps for my baby. I'm a proud mama. But I'm not surprised because, like I said, y'all Leos, when y'all are,
when we're there and we're focused and we see the goal,
it's no stopping. You're relentless. Yes. And that's what I love about you. So welcome to the show, y'all. This is Mahogany Jones. Fierce femcee, one of the best. You definitely in one of my top 10 as far as female. No, I say MCs, period. Let's just go there.
Thank you, Edna. What's up, Edna?
Definitely in there. And musical ambassador, teacher, lover, empath, director of a pure movement.
Yes.
Just strong J. So welcome back to the show. And when I heard that strong friends, weak friends, you touched me, right? I was like, oh wow. I said, why she in my business? Why she in my business?
But you know what's funny is I was telling Dre, because he produced the track. I did the song. I'm trying to think when I wrote it. I had given myself a challenge, just to wrestle between trying to figure my role as a wife. And I think I had just given birth to Elle. And, just still in a place.
Pause, can you hear me? Can you share the video? Share the video? Can you share the video, Mahogany? Can you go on your Facebook and share it?
Oh, how do I do that?
I don't know if you got, you on your phone already?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was gonna have you share but never mind. I don't want you to tap out of this. That's okay.
Okay.
But so you had just given birth, so you was
I just given birth
postpartum and
all of it. And I was pregnant with Elle when we didn't know that the panorama was gonna be the panorama and how long we was gonna be in the pandemic. Right. So it was just like, it went from like, I'm going to have Elle in June. Everything should be wrapped up by my birthday to, wow, we are living in this indefinite state of quote unquote unprecedented times.
Yep.
And it was a lot. And I just knew a lot of people who were going through a lot. I knew people who had lost relatives who didn't even get to see their relatives. We had attended our first virtual funeral during that season.
Yep.
And it was a lot. And I think even in my transition, you know, forget the pandemic, but just transitioning from being single, ready to mingle, to now I'm a wife, and now I'm a mom, and a lot of the disconnect that happened with my friendships, you know, and understanding, okay, now a good portion of my time, I can't kiki with you because we got a new thing, and I still love you, but it's just a new thing. And so, yeah, just being a weak friend, and I'm used to being the strong friend. And it was just a lot. And I just was like, man, I want to put pen to page on this, because especially our people, you know, no disrespect to other races, but I feel like our people, and in particular our women, take on being the strong Black woman.
Yep.
And we wear it like a badge of honor.
Right. And it's like, no, there's no pride in that, saying I'm worn out, I only got 3 hours of sleep. I mean, it's overrated. I'm gonna let you finish, but it's overrated.
Yeah.
It is. It is.
No, that's it. I mean, it's just, we need to know it's okay to not be okay, you know, and you know, it's okay. It's okay. And not that you'll live in that space, but sometimes a prayer is not gonna pray it away. And sometimes you can't shake it off, you know, just
sometimes I need to sit in and be upset for the moment. Sometimes I need to feel my emotions. So I love that. And welcome. I'm glad it's Women's History Month. So salute to you for Women's History Month. You definitely are a history maker, Mahogany. So again, just always, you know, you're a friend of the show at this point. So let's get a little bit more into strong friends. And I want you to define what you say when you say weak friends, because I say that often, like, people see me post on Facebook, like, make sure you check on your strong friends. But then I have also said, like, check on the weak friends too, or whatever. Just check on your friends, you know. So how do you, what do you, when you said, you know, it's all right, it's okay, you know, the strong friends handle the weak ones, like, what did you mean by that?
You know, it's funny too, because my initial hook was, it's okay to not be okay, and it's all right to not be all right. Check on your strong friends. And that's where it ended. But Dre was like, no, check on your weak friends too. And I was like, dang, babe, true. You know, so as I began to kind of unpack that, it was like, oh man, what are weak friends? And I think it takes on, you know, we're, first of all, in the role as we live life, is interchangeable, right? So I think a weak friend can sometimes just be the person who always call you. They always got something going on. There is not an expectation that you're going to kind of get to unload on them. They're going to unload on you, and you just have to kind of be prepared and ready to take it all in. There's no room for your part of the conversation. Like, you're the one doling out. I mean, they're the ones doling out, and you take it. So I think that's one definition of a weak friend. And I think the second definition of a weak friend too is just, I was listening to, what's her name? She's a preacher, Sarah
Jakes Roberts.
Sarah Jakes Roberts.
I love her. Yes.
And she was saying something that I was going to take and connect to the song. And she's like, you know, sometimes you have to be all right with letting someone know, hey, I just do not have the capacity for that right now. Like, I wish I did, but I don't. And you probably need to talk to someone, but my expertise, or my area expertise, doesn't have it to really even be here for you to weigh.
Right. I don't have the bandwidth. I don't have the bandwidth. And you know what? I'm trying to bring up this meme. And I guess when we say being weak, not like it's a bad thing, but you're vulnerable. More so. You know, it's and definitely we have those friends where you're like, oh Lord, why I don't even want to know, Jesus. I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know, because I know it's gonna be some mess. And then especially as we mature, we're like, look now. And like you said, when you have kids, you're married, that's a whole lot of life transition. And you really just don't have the capacity a lot of times. We definitely want to keep space for our friends, you know, because you know, it's important to keep that connection with your sister friends. Absolutely. You know, you don't want to get lost in the marriage either, or lost in, I'm just a mom. You know, I'm not trying to go to brunch anymore. I'm not trying to go to book club or do any, you know, go to the concert or whatever. So we have to be mindful of that. It has to be a balance. But then friends have to understand that now a lot of my priority is shifted.
It's shifted.
It's shifted.
Yeah.
And I might not have the capacity to hold you up as a weak friend at times because I've got 50, 11 things going on. And not to be selfish and not be there for you, but it's just I think sometimes people need to respect that boundary that I might not have the capacity. And I'm trying to find this meme from the other day. And it encapsulates exactly what here it is. Give me a moment to bring it up. It says, I have a friend who always asks me before venting or sharing concerns if I have the mental space for it right now. And I got to say that willingness to respect boundaries and not demand a loved one dedicate emotional energy that they may not have that day. That's the healthiest shit ever. So taking a moment before you unload to say, you know what? Are you in a space to accept this right now? And I had to think about that. I was like, I've never thought to do that when I vented. I'll just be like, la, 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 la. You just spill it out, not realizing that the other person might have.
They may not have it. And I mean, and I think it's funny too, because even in thinking about like the weak friend, like, I guess I would consider, I'm always the person to have a mentee or have somebody kind of like under the wing, right? And I've had a lot of mentees that I've known since they were like 13. One who actually told me she is turning 30.
Oh my
I was
God.
like, in September. So I was like, oh, I've known you since you were 14. God, clutch the pearls.
Right.
But, that's my baby, right? I never, they say never bleed on your sheep. You know what I'm saying? So I never pour out on her. But in subtle ways, she being what would be considered the weak friend because she's the mentee, really came through in subtle ways as the strong friend for me in this season. Little things like calling and check up on me or sending Ella a gift, and so it's just interesting just how,
that text will go a long way sometimes, or that inbox, or the people, the what is it? The student becomes the teacher in a way.
Yes.
You poured into her, and now she's pouring back into you.
Yes.
And I think that's hard for us to flip the script at times. It's an experience you're gonna have as a mother too. But sometimes your kids are teaching you stuff. You be like, wait a minute now.
Wait now. Come on now.
I'll be looking at my kids like, see, this will happen when you read to them. They just get to.
You like just jumping ahead now. You need to slow down now.
You be like,
go sit down.
I thought I knew something. I'm about to be 45 next week, by the way. Praise God. Girl, even for these gray hairs, I'm like, I'm thankful.
I don't see no gray hairs, girl. First of all, can we just take a pause? Y'all didn't get to see the behind the scenes, but I came on here just rough, just from the work day, just beat down. And here she come giving us all the glow. She's like, yeah, girl, go get you a little zhuzh. I was like, yes, let me put on a little lip. Let me pull myself together because she's looking all the way together. Girl, and I was like, let me get it together.
Let me get a little 20 minutes prior. I metamorphosized. I transitioned so quick. It just, girl, because I'm a tomboy at heart, Mahogany. For real. I'm really? Like straight up.
No way.
Look. The only reason I wear makeup the only time I wear makeup is if I'm going out or if I have a show. That's it. Other than that, you catch me with the chapstick. And look, I brush my teeth. I'm clean and I match.
And what's funny is that it's the opposite for me. I think since I don't know, like before I would always have a lip. I would always be done up, and I still need to kind of have a little done up. But now just life gets simple, and it's like, man, I want to kiss on my man. I want to kiss on my babies. Like, I can't wear it.
For real. No, and seriously. No. So the only time I usually put on face like this is if I'm doing a show, of course. But like I said, 20 minutes prior, like earlier today when I was picking up the boy from school at 3:15, I'm mama I had on my little work sweater and was looking. So wait, let's talk about that. The balance of real life with what we do in the industry. And so right quick, let's touch on that. Elle is almost 2. She's so cute. Oh, she's so cute. She's so cute. And so how's she doing? How's that being a mom and being an artist? How is that? That's my question. How has being a mom affected your artistry?
It's funny, because I think you just take for granted the liberty that you have to kind of like go full throttle. And then everything shuts down. So it was a
Mhm.
time where it's just like I just kind of stopped for a certain minute. And now that she's a little mobile, I just take her with me everywhere. I remember talking to
Mhm.
Jessica Caramore, and I was like, "Man, how did you do it?" And she's like, "I took King with me everywhere." And when I
Mm.
think back, I'm like, "You sure did.
Yeah. Her
You
and
sure."
Stephanie, just like her Stephanie's son Christian. He was with her on the mic one time. She had him on her hip and she was hollering into the mic. That's what you gotta do. That's
And
what you gotta
you
do.
coming. You coming. We have some business to do. Is to we're working on a potential pilot for a show, and I had to shoot a move real quick to New York. Elle was on the set. We was making the move. We shot the move. Come on, girl, you coming. You know what I mean? We at the studio. I'll make arrangements for babysitters for her. So now, I mean, it's fun. You know, it's fun because it puts everything in perspective and it
Mhm.
makes me work even harder. You know, it's
Mhm.
like, okay, my lifestyle has now had to shift. Like I've had to kind of get a job and, you know, work on my music and work on my career. And it's like, man, if I'm gonna work this hard for like other people, like, do I want Elle to see me like being a teacher in a classroom, taking care of kids, or do I want her to see me how she saw me when we were in New York and we're on
Exactly.
set and she's go, mommy,
Oh, so cute.
go.
Wait a
You
minute, and you
know?
know what? And let's right quick, we need to shout out our husbands.
Yes.
Shout out to our husbands, your husband Dre. I could just tell that when y'all got together, it was like peanut butter and jelly. I can really
Yeah.
tell the glow in your artistry is just at another level now. And that is such a blessing when you can have a partner. And my husband is my graphic designer. He's my encourager, homie, lover,
Wow.
friend, all of yeah, like all my flyers, all of that. He does all my flyers. He does all that.
Oh,
My husband is an artist. He's a phenomenal artist. Yeah.
wow.
So he can do all of that, draw, paint, graphic design, all of that. And it's just a blessing to have a partner who you all together are cohesive, working towards that. Where, like you said, he was able to take L while you shot the move to New
Yeah.
York, and that's a
Yeah.
blessing to have that support as a mom.
I want to reel it back a little bit. I took Elle with me,
Oh, you talk?
but
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay,
the fact, and there's time. I mean, he's with Elle now. You know what I mean?
okay,
And just even let me have this moment because Elle,
right.
honey, Elle will take over our show.
I'm
It'll be
sure.
over. It will be the Elle show. So, but I think even the understanding, and he just made so many things possible
Right.
and helped accommodate my last minute
Yeah.
trip and just not being like, well, where are you going? Why are you going?
Right. Yeah, because I saw you. I'm referring to your Instagram post. I felt that when you said like he got into mode and he supported you.
And he supported me, and he
Do it.
always shows up in that way. I mean, and it's funny because we at times have to figure out I have to figure out more than he does because he's very clear on like where he stands as a professional and where he stands as my husband. And I think that's, you know, sometimes I think for me, the lines could get blurred. And
Okay.
I think even in those moments where it's like, okay, well, you know, I could have just had an argument with you, but we got to go record.
Right. And so that's a great segue. That's what I was going to ask because strong friends, weak friends, that's on his label, The 30s. Okay.
Yes.
And he's the producer. And it's
Yes.
featuring K Soul. I love her vocals.
Yes. K Soul.
How to pronounce her name. And you listed a couple other people that contributed as well. So what is talk because I kind of heard you talking about that on Piper Carter's podcast as well, like how sometimes and that's me and Ben as well, where we'll have a fight and I'm like, look, we still got shit to do. Okay, like I still like, and it's been times where we've gotten into it and I'm like, I got a show next week, will you do my flyers?
Will you do my flyer? Right.
And he'll be like, I'm gonna do your damn flyer, but I'm still mad. So how is that working together? Because like you said, husband and wife, you know, producer, songwriter, artist. How does that transition go sometimes? Because I heard.
I mean, I think you know it's funny.
Step back. You be trying to.
I know. I mean, you know it's definitely real. You know, but I think there's so much beauty because one thing that we realized, and even before we dated, is whatever we put our mind to do together, it's undeniable.
Yeah.
You know, so from music to if we decide to do an event, so it's like, oh, we did a life event, you know, we have a family and we have kids and they're great. You know what I mean? Like, so I just think that it gives us a certain place to come back to and just remember like, okay, no, this is important. You know what I mean? Like, we're important. And then, in the times where it's weird, it's like I was in the studio the last week. I think it was the week before. It was the week before last. And this session in particular, I didn't have a babysitter. So Dre really kind of held Elle down. And when we're in the studio, I'll be bubbles and butterflies. I'm in the zone. I'm being artsy. I'm creative, And so it'll be like Elle touching knobs. I'm like, girl, do your thing, be free. And he's like, get her. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot, you know what I mean? And so there's times where I just look at him, just hold her down and, manage our session and, kind of give me feedback creatively, or we vibe creatively. And my whole heart just jumps out my chest.
Oh, I love it.
Just proud, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Like, that's
come on, Black love.
Yes. Ain't nothing like creating a legacy together. And we don't know what, and see, and Elle is going to be already, because Geminis are just creative.
Yeah.
Like, they are just those type of personalities. So I can definitely see her doing something in the future. I can see it all in the facial expressions she has.
When I tell you this little girl, okay,
like, look, I'm about the business. It's hilarious. She's so cute. So much personality.
Elle is about the business. At her preschool, the teacher has already taught her to say, "Hey, girl."
I believe it.
So she sees her teacher and she says, "Hey, girl." The teachers tell me she is a teacher in training. She goes around for nap time. She's patting kids, helping them go down for nap.
You know what?
If kids are climbing on things, she's like, no, get down.
And she's not even two.
Not even two.
Girl.
We're in the car. I was doing a favor for a friend, so I'm taking her baby to to daycare, and her baby's a little younger than her. Here goes Elle. Hush, hush, hush.
Girl,
like an old Jamaican woman. I can't with her.
Old Jamaican woman. I love it. So let's get into strong friends, weak friends, and right quick. So the inspiration, I really felt that first line when you said depression. Mm-hmm. That's a real mm-hmm. thing with our mental health, especially as moms, mm-hmm. and how sometimes we keep going and we don't even realize that we were depressed, or that we are, or that we're going through something. So talk a little bit more about the lyrics, and then we're gonna get into strong friends, weak friends. But so to kind of talk about how it unfolded, because you just put out the EP last year.
Yeah.
Floating.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is another EP or album coming up?
It is. We're working on it. So at the top of the year, we released a single called Work. Out, which is fun. It's a really fun song. So I mean, honestly, Dre wasn't. I was nervous to drop Strong Friends, Weak Friends right after Work, because Work is fun, it's upbeat, it's motivational. And so I felt like I was being a Debbie Downer dropping this, but I was like, it's so important because it's honest and people are going through. Right. I think that again, mental health has just started to be a thing for people of color, for us to address it. Somebody said something the other day and I thought it was remarkable, and said, therapy should be free for Black people in America. Period.
Girl.
And I was like, dang, that's the truth.
Yeah, because you know how many friends I have who don't have traditional jobs and say they're not in therapy because they don't have insurance to cover.
They don't have insurance. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just like, man, how do you process and unpack certain things that are just there that you can't deal with? And I just remember having close friends who were women who were vibrant and who were, at the top of their game. And then when they got married and had kids, just kind of went to this space of weeping willow. And then I saw myself becoming that woman too, like, whoa. And it was just like, I had friends who pulled me out. You know what I mean? I have friends who were like, girl, I know you just had this baby, but you wake up, you get dressed, you put on a lip, you get Elle dressed, and you get it together. And you know what I'm saying? Like, get it together. And it was like, okay.
Right. Because it shouldn't, and see, because marriage shouldn't be this depressing thing. And that's
it's not. It's not.
Yeah, but you can't get into that in a way, kind of a sinkhole in a way. The business, caught up in this business of life, where you fix the lunches, you go on to school things, running here and there, you changing diapers, you paying bills, you're making sure you fixing stuff around the house. It can get like that, and then it can because you devote stuff to your husband.
The biggest thing, and I think that's not the case now, but I think in the beginning, you are trying to figure out this new you. You're trying to figure out how you function, how you move, who you are. And Michelle Obama spoke about that in her book.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And just, she saw Barack going to the gym and doing his thing. And she like, well, what am I doing?
Right, exactly. You get it. You go through like wait a minute, now I got to reflect. So thank you. So thank you to everyone who's watching so far. Gigi, Edna, B. Dean, everyone. So let's go into strong friends, weak friends, and come back, because that's something as a married woman, I had to, go through myself, where I felt like, wait a minute, I lost myself a little bit here. I got caught up, and the thing is, it's nothing wrong with that, because you need to be devoted to your family, but also you got to come out of it, because we know that God gave us these gifts. Like your cadence is like fire, Mahogany. Like for real, I be like, you know what? She be cutting up. She be cutting up, like and I just to you one of those lyricists. Like when you listen to it, you be like, did she just say? Wait a minute, now let me rewind this shit back, because she just said some old other shit here. So I'm serious, like, and I'm so proud of you from the D, like D girl doing it. So let's get into strong friends, weak friends, and then come back a little bit more. And I want you to think about what would you be doing if you were not doing what you're doing, if you were not a fierce femcee? Is there like a secret career that you always thought about? But let's first get into the song and we'll come back.
Waters of depression, I suppress it, don't address it, I just move, ignore the tension. It's cool since adolescence, I just managed to finesse it. I measure the dimension of my defenses, so in essence, my war's high. I can't lie, I can't let them get close, I might die, cause can't nobody really deal with what I feel inside. It's easier to wear the paint to smile and deny that anything is wrong, and why bother to rely on people who are not reliable? So I just try to manage it with bandages, and I'm just doing fine. I've been getting by. Lately I've been contemplating maybe getting high, cause these open wounds are oozing. The confusion need the author to rewrite the conclusion. Got these problems and I wish they came included with solutions.
But all I can say, it's okay to not be okay. It's alright to not be alright. Check on your strong friends and on your weak friends. It's okay to not be okay. It's alright to not be alright. Check on your strong friends and on your weak friends.
The vicious cycle of overeating and undersleeping, or undereating and oversleeping. I keep repeating the same mistakes from my past show up on my path, feeling like it's covered with nothing but shattered glass. I go from being mad to feeling defeated. I go from feeling sad to feeling depleted. Got this monster deep inside that I'm feeding on. My people tell me shake it off, like I can just take it off. Tell me that I'm being soft and I need to break it off. How can I? We've been together so long. This is all that I know, and I know something's wrong. I done said the affirmations, I done prayed all the scriptures, even did a vision board to open doors for bigger pictures. All I see is darkness, I'm trying to see the light. God said go and be the light, be the freedom in your fight. Liberation is the closest when it's not in line of sight.
It's okay to not be okay. It's alright to not be alright. Check on your strong friends and on your weak friends. It's okay to not be okay. It's alright to not be alright. Check on your strong friends and on your weak friends. Check on your strong friends and all your weak friends. It's okay to not be okay. It's alright strong friends and all your weak friends.
Yes. Oh, yes. So wait a minute. Let me ask right quick before we go into what would you be if you weren't a femcee. How do you handle weak friends?
I think like you do with any, I mean, it all depends on who the weak friend is and in what way they're showing up weak. I think my tendency is to just be a little bit more tender and attentive. I think sometimes I've been in a rut with, a weak friend who after a while their weight just got too heavy. And then I think I can get discouraged. Like, I'm a fixer. You know what I mean? So it's like, I want to come in with a solution. If you share with me a problem that you have, I want to help you find the solution.
Exactly. Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
or find the person who can help you, or find the person, find to connect you with the person who can help you.
Right. Like, I want us to figure it out together. And then I want to see you implement what we figure out together. And for me, any project that I'm a part of, if I'm a part of a project and I don't see motion or movement, I unplug and I don't even realize I'm doing it. So I think for certain weak friends, I show up. I try to show up more. I try to be strong for them. I try to show up and really connect and be tender with them because they're weak. But then I think after a while, when the weakness is like, okay, you gonna get up or no? Like, we gonna figure it out or no? We still having the same conversation. We've been talking about this for a year.
Yes.
I gotta do the Heisman. I'm a little busy.
Yes.
And I don't want to be like that, but it's just, that's how it happens sometimes. And I don't even realize I'm doing it, but I think in my heart, I feel a certain sense of sadness that I'm not able to help, or I feel defeated that I'm not able to help, or just, that we're not seeing it through. So I think I shrink sometimes with my weak friends, where it's like, okay, it's the same thing, and we tapping into a year, we tapping into a year and a half, we tapping into 2 years, and we're kind of still dealing with the same thing.
And that reminds me of another meme where it said, look, you might call me insensitive, but after we talk once, and it's a hyperbole, of course. Of course, I'm gonna talk to you more than one time. But if we don't talk one time about a problem, the next time I want to talk about solutions.
Yeah.
Now, of course, we know it has to be more than once, but the point is, like, we're not gonna just let you get into the abyss of this problem if it's the same problem. Either you need to change your mindset about it, or we need to figure out a solution. Like, seriously. And or maybe I'm not the one who can help you. That's what we have to admit as strong friends. Sometimes we have to admit to ourselves, maybe I'm not what they need. Maybe my help is not the help that they need.
And it's true. I think the flip side, the weak friend, right? So I think the weak friend is the one who kind of is, damsel in distress, or they need. And then I think the other version of the weak friend too is just, you just weak. Like, you're not coming through. You're not doing right. You should have been showing up and you're not showing up. And I think in that case, I think sometimes it's weird. I think the same thing. I think there's been times where I've kind of overcompensated, and my husband gets on me about that all the time. And I think that's something we can work on too, is not to let people get away with not treating you the way that they should, or not honoring your time, or honoring your friendship, or not giving people another opportunity to not do right. My husband's
amen. Wait, look,
so proud of him.
Look at my shirt.
Know your worth in it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seriously, because we have to hold people accountable too, because you teach people how to treat you.
Yeah.
You do. We have to be honest at times to say to, like, you weren't a good friend, and even admit to ourselves. I've had to admit to myself I wasn't a good friend. I was the weak friend at times. I've been the weak friend at times. Yeah. So we have to be honest with ourselves, and it's having those hard conversations, having those uncomfortable conversations, and that's something I learned also from friendships that I've lost. Like, we should have had more of those uncomfortable conversations.
And that's the thing too. I think that there's such a beauty when you have a friend, and whether the role is interchangeable of strong or weak, that's there. I had my best friend, like since we were kids. And I can still say she's my best friend because in the midst of me going through all kinds of changes and kind of giving her the Heisman, she always still checked in.
Mm-hmm.
It was still like, what's going on with you, Reese? How are you? Like she always.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, we lost her for a moment. Right in the middle of her making that point, y'all. We're gonna get Mahogany Jones back on here in a little bit. But thank you to everyone who is watching and listening. Hopefully this generates some conversations between you and some of your strong friends or weak friends. I mean, of course, we don't want to call people weak, but we want to but also acknowledge that at times it can be overrated, us talking about being strong all the time. So let me give a moment for hopefully Mahogany will be joining us, and just want to remind you all that, this is a moment where I can make an official announcement. So next month, Rocky's Reality will have none other than the Luther Uncle Luke Campbell of Two Live Crew on the show. Yes, the Shake What Your Mama Gave You, Pop That Coochie, Me So Horny, I Wanna Rock, that Luther Campbell. Shout out to Montez Miller for the connection. So he is coming on April 14th. So I'm looking forward to that. Hoping that he, is in a good mood so we can really get a good conversation going on. I'm sure it's going to be fine though, because he's pretty, we know Uncle Luke is always, down for a good conversation. So I'm looking forward to that. And I really want to touch on not just his music and how he shifted. Two Live Crew, a lot of people don't realize they're one of the groups in Luther that shifted hip hop. Like a lot of people might not know, and a lot of people might know that Two Live Crew's fourth album, Banned in the USA, that's when they were going through all their court stuff. And their stuff was like, their album was like actually banned down in Florida. Their Banned in the USA album is the first album that had the parental advisory explicit lyrics stamp. That, remember when we used to buy CDs and tapes, at the bottom, that little black and white stamp that says, the little label that says parental advisory explicit lyrics. Well, that is partly because of Two Live Crew, because they was just raunchy, as nasty as they wanted to be. So, and you know what, they paved the way in a lot of ways. And I mean, I'm sure a lot of us look back now and we're like, oh, it was misogynistic, but it still, we need to understand too, they were pioneers in Miami bass, which is a whole different genre of music. And so shout out to Uncle Luke for and Fresh Kid Ice and DJ Mr. Mix and Marquise for just paving the way as far as that, because the things that Uncle Luke got persecuted for back then, like when he got banned and all of that stuff, it's stuff that's just commonplace now. Like we know now in today's hip hop atmosphere, the ecosystem of hip hop is just totally like no holds barred. So I'm looking forward to that with him. And also Uncle Luke is now a politician, a community activist. He speaks out a lot about racism happening in Miami. Like now lately he's been talking a lot about some racist practices that they have regarding the sports leagues, the high school sports leagues, and a certain regulations that they've put into place that favor white kids and persecute or pretty much marginalized Black kids. So he speaks out a lot. He's your favorite ghetto news network or whatever. So it's hilarious. If you all are not following him, do so. But I just want to shine light on. And then he's a football coach too. So Uncle Luke, y'all, he done went from popping coochies to saving the community. Like he is heavily involved in his community. A football coach, activist leader, and he said he's going to run for office again. He ran for mayor a while back. So, but hopefully, I don't know if Mahogany hopefully can join us. If not, maybe we can pull up one of her videos um, Robin, while we're waiting on Mahogany to rejoin us, I'm gonna pull up right quick. I love that song that she did. It was like a tribute to her daughter. And it was a beautiful video. But thank you everyone for hanging in there with me. Again, Rocky's Reality will be back on. Oh, let's do this one. I'm gonna send this to you, Robin. I'm gonna put it into the chat. And we can, this is hold on. Let me get this here. I'm gonna put it into the chat here until we got that, Robin. While we're waiting on Mahogany to rejoin us, we can play her video Floating. This is from last year, 2021. So just like with a lot of people, Mahogany was still creating in the midst of the pandemic. And so that's a blessing. So let's go ahead and check out the video for Floating. This is from the EP Floating that was released in 2021. And that's what I love that, no, excuse me, my bad, 2020. But still, let's check out some oldie but goodie Mahogany Jones. This is Floating.
I keep observation of the ancients. I'm not anxious, I'm so patient. Look at me, I'm levitating, floating on this ocean of emotion like I'm ice skating. Pictures be like Night Kong, King Kong, Saigon. Might wanna leave for your lights off, might wanna turn on your brights off. Cause evil's deceitful when demons reside in cathedrals. Watch them shine on. Resident evil residing in people I thought was my peoples, they pythons. Pythons, not the type to rely on, but the type to keep eyes on. See through the hype nylon. Hey, let bygones just bygone. Making in silicone boobies and booties and Gucci and Louis from Taiwan. Man, people are fake. Man, people are snakes. Ask me how I'm doing, I proceed to tell them, man, I'm great. Look at me clearing my plate. Delicious. These haters, they dirty dishes. Watch them pile up. I just keep my distance, pay them no attention. I just keep my cool. I'm so air conditioned, never give a mention. Who? They so fake ID, never get it.
Watch me Watch me
Y'all push me so gorilla. Bet that hope they don't loose me. People thought that they knew me. Let me introduce you to the new me. Like, dang dog, who she? Who me? Oh we. You told her bro to beat me. I done had to fight all my life. Now y'all clones trying to beat me. Ride your own wave, find your own life. I bake the pie, you want a slice. You buy the hype, I pay the price. I'm civil rights, you poltergeist. Always gonna ghost when it's time to fight.
Watch me
I'm floating.
floating over you. Floating over you. Watch me
Trying to be a player like you is big Mike. You ain't 23, you ain't major league, you ain't major key. You so maitre d', you so make believe, you so Maybelline, you ain't facing me. The world is my ocean, I'm floating, I'm coasting, my focus is out, so heavenly. Won't be ruled by emotion, you shouldn't say my ocean, you peasant, so never unsettle me. Higher the levels be, higher the devils be. I'm watching real carefully all of my enemies, saying they care for me, you never care for me.
Watch me float.
I'm glad you made it back. Child,
Me too.
you were just cutting up in that. Ghosts like Poltergeist. Woo! You know, Maitre D, but you know what? You.
First of all, let me find out you got a little MC in you. We gonna find out, Rocky.
I know MC. Look, I'm a lover of the craft. Look, I just follow along. Girl,
we see you. We know you get your journalism on.
I can
but
sing
let me find out.
I can sing just a little bit. I can do a little karaoke.
Little me.
I can do a little bit. I can carry a little note, but girl, my God. So was that your "Fuck the Haters" song? Was that?
That's exactly
get on my
what
level.
That was.
Was that my level? And so was that after you had L?
No, pre-L.
Okay, pre-L. Okay, because that was 2020. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so wait, because before you dropped, let's go back to that question. What would you be doing if you weren't a femcee?
If I was not a femcee, I would. Okay, dang, this is hard. It's not. Okay. I remember doing my college essay, and I was like, well, I can do hair. I like to do hair, and I want to help people, and I like to talk. You know, like those were the things I knew I liked. And I was like, well, I guess I'll just go to school for communications. But to be perfectly honest, my family always said, was like, oh, being a hairdresser is ghetto. Hairdressers make good money. That's one thing Black people always gonna do is get their hair.
No, and they are more than hairdressers. They are therapists.
Yes.
Okay, come on. They are self-care specialists. Don't be look now.
That's exactly what
they be changing lives. My hairdresser be changing my life. Okay.
Listen, and it's funny because you know, when you're an artist, you do all the things, and so I don't do it now. But when I was in Detroit, I had several clients who I would do their locks, and I would pray over them before I did their hair.
See?
And we would talk, we would build. So I would probably say I would either be a hairstylist, a social worker, a hairstylist or a social worker.
Yeah. And you know, a social worker, that's what I am that's my 9 to 5, or I'm a trainer.
I didn't know that.
I've been in social work over 20 years.
Really?
Yep. Yes, auntie. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So that's why I have some of the topics that I do, because I'm like, we need to know Jesus. We got to help the community. But yeah. Yep, absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about those sessions you've been having on Instagram. All right, is that the album recording sessions? Is that
so? It's part
of the lab. You in the lab. The process.
Yes, the process. So Dre has been recording those sessions. So we are going to see, you know, we're figuring out if we're going to go back to them. I've always wanted to do like a live album. And so when it's all said and done, what I'm very much thinking, you know, is that I will do it with another musician and I will carry it on until the end of 23, go back through the files of the recordings and see what we have. And we'll probably put out a live album, but it is part of working on the new album. It is just the live version.
I love those, how organic those are. And what is it, Jairus Dixon?
Jarius Dixon.
Jarius, he's something special.
He is.
I like him. I'm so okay. I was like, he's back. I'm the one, because at first in the one session, I just saw you because you were in the forefront, but then he chimed in and I was like,
what you got going on? And it's so it's very cool because I met him through his girlfriend, who she was my background vocalist for an event I did opening up for Moonchild.
Oh, I know that was fine.
Good friends ever since, and yeah, we've just been cool ever since. And so they're a couple. I just love it. It's so cool. Even with the Kells, you know, even with the girl who's featured on the Strong Friends, Weak Friends, her beau, it was the guy who did guitars on the song. You know, so they kind of have like a musical working relationship. And so it's been nice to see younger couples and work with younger couples and us all kind of like, build and do music together. That has been a beautiful aspect of it for me too. So, but he's very special.
That is the bomb.
Yeah.
Because you making me think of some type of showcase or show of the couples. Like, I love it. Black love. And that's what we need to see more of. Black love and black couples working together, creating together.
Yeah.
That's what I love. It's 3 couples you just named. You and Dre, Jarris and his lady, and you said K Solo and her.
And then Kels and Javi. Yeah.
Okay, Kels. K Solo is also Kels?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, so let's end. We got to come to the close. I appreciate your time because I know it's not easy, Mama. Mama of a toddler.
I got 5 minutes. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to L. Let me suck up my 5 minutes now.
I'm glad you came back. And just in a minute, just don't worry. You're gonna blink and L is gonna be 18. She about to be 18. Just watch. It seemed like forever now, but while she gonna be 18 and looking like my daughter, like a whole little woman out here. But I want to end with a little game.
Okay.
So it's this game people play called Marry, Fuck, Kill.
Okay.
Now, hopefully the hubbies don't get upset. This is just for kicks.
Okay.
It's just for kicks.
Okay.
We know you married to Dre. But in the fantasy world,
yes.
Who would you marry, fuck, or kill? It could be a celebrity. It could be someone from history. It can be anybody.
Okay. This is interesting. Okay, who is my celebrity? Just everything. I have a few, and I'm not like that, let me think who I would kill. I would, as much as I love him artistically, I feel like he would drive me up a wall. So I would kill Kanye. I love him artistically, but I feel like if we were in personal settings, I probably want to kill him. Okay. As far as who is it? I don't know why it's escaping me, but he's just so gorgeous to me. So it's a few. So
this is who you would marry or who you would fuck?
The latter. Okay. I'll do the marry and then I'll do the latter. Who would I marry? I think I would want to marry like a Barack. I think I'd want to marry Barack.
Girl.
I think I'd want to marry
Me
Barack.
Too. We
think I'd want to be well taken care of. Think we'd be all right. I get my Michelle Obama on. I think.
And he's a Leo too.
Might be a little fire in the house, but it's okay. We'll be all right. Burn it down.
Woo, queen and the king of the jungle. Woo.
Woo. Okay, no. And I think that's a good one.
We all got our fantasies because my husband loves.
And you know what's so funny is that if for the way I'm wired, I'm like, unless we have like a connection, but I know this sounds weird. It doesn't. Okay, I have 2. Common or
he just had a birthday. Mm-hmm.
So gorgeous to me. What's his name? I don't know. It's like so. I'm like it's not so many, but it's. I don't want to say Morris. It's not Morris Chestnut.
He's not a bad choice though. That would be my fuck. Yeah, I'm
Morris.
Morris. I would marry Morris. Yeah.
Who is Killmonger? Who is
Michael B. Jordan?
Who is? Yes.
That's a good one.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a good. That's a good one. Now, so I would marry Idris. I would kill.
I thought of Idris. Mm-hmm.
I would kill the guy who plays Lamar. Oh my God, his name is escaping me. The guy who plays Lamar on BMF. Did you see BMF?
Yes.
I would kill him. Can that be mine? He made me so goddamn sick watching that.
Yo, can that be mine? Can that be mine?
Yes.
Oh, wait, I take it back. I want to take mine back. Have you seen what is it called? Brooklyn or Harlem?
Yes. God,
yes. That's
yes.
It. Yeah.
Who was Megan Good's boo?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's nice. Tyler Lepley. And you know he's in P Valley too.
Oh, really?
Yep, he's died. Have you watched P Valley?
I haven't. I have a cousin who actually does the hair on that show, and I heard it's an amazing show.
You've got to. My little sister is going to be playing the young Loretta Devine this season. Season 2 starts in June. You have got to.
Okay, I gotta tap in.
Clifford, I went to high school with Uncle Clifford, Nico Anand.
No way.
You have got to watch it.
Okay, wait. Can we put another person who we would kill on there? He's always the evil guy. Always. Ooh. Okay, I'm sorry. Keep going.
No. Go ahead.
No, that's it. That's it. You do yours.
Who would I kill? Like I said, I would kill the guy from you know what, y'all? Meredith off Grey's Anatomy. I'm sick of her. I'm sick of her. Like I have these feelings about like TV characters more so than celebrities.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sick of her. I'm sick of her. And so I would either marry Boris Cujo or Idris Elba.
Okay. I see that.
Like you said, fuck would be who did I say before? I said dang, who did I say? I forgot who I said. But we all have our fantasies.
You didn't say Idris? It wasn't Idris? You would marry Idris.
Yeah. Who did I say? Lord, I don't forgot who I said. Because I got a list of people too who you know who in case since I forgot Reggie Jean, the guy who played Duke of Hastings in Bridgerton. His name is Reg J. John. You know what I'm talking about? Duke. Did you see Bridgerton?
I didn't, and I heard that was also really good.
Yes, and he's a fine specimen. So okay, so yes. So again, disclaimer to our husbands and listeners, that was just a fun little game.
We having fun.
This was fantasy. And I mean, you know how in your head, because like you said, you be thinking about certain people like, I would run you over. You would just get on my nerves. Or like, ooh, you really fine. I would really get with you with your fine self. Another one who I like is Anderson .Paak with his little self.
Oh, I love him.
And you know who I was listening to today, and we got to wrap it up, who I could hear you doing a duet with. When I was getting ready, I thought to myself, I could hear Mahogany on one of his tracks, Lucky Day.
I love him. I love his
album. His new album just came out last week.
He's mind-blowing. I love his artistry. I love Lucky Day.
Oh my God.
It's funny because my daughter put me onto him, and I did not know about him. He's really fresh as an artist. I would love to do a duet with him.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're going to put that in the universe. We're going to manifest.
It's out there.
Because I was listening to him, I said, I could hear Mahogany on this a track like this with him. So I'm always like, I do that too. I pair people together in my head who I would want to hear together. That's the crazy thing I do too. Like I think I hear different artists and I'm like, I would love to hear them together. Because
that's really cool. I know that that's a side thing, but you should make that could be a cool series. Like a social media kind of thing. That would be really cool.
Ooh, I could put some pictures side by side.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
I love it. See, that's why you my girl crush too. So let's stay in touch. Mahogany, tell people where they can find you. Thank you so much. And see this, I'm mad we gotta go now because it's like I'm a sapiosexual, and I think you are too. Like
Me too.
We get high off people who are just intellectually stimulating and just the ideas just get to flowing. So we are definitely going to keep in touch. Please tell people where they can find you. Y'all make sure y'all download Strong Friends, Weak Friends on all DSPs, right?
Yes. Yep, definitely. And yeah, I'm always on the gram. So at MAHOGANYJONZ. So that's Mahogany Jones on Instagram. Definitely the website, www.mahoganyjones, spelled JONES.com. And yeah, I'll be on the book, but I really be on the gram.
Okay.
I'm really on the gram. So just hit me up on the gram, Facebook. I'm out there, and my website. So yeah, make sure you download. The 30s has a ton of dope music that's out. So make sure you catch up with it, catch my single work, and definitely catch up with Strong Friend, Weak Friends. And check on a Strong Friend, Weak Friend, and be okay with not being okay sometimes. And I love you, and thank you for being a strong friend too, Rocky.
Right. You too, Mahogany. Thank you so much. And this is not goodbye. This is see you later. Thank you again. It's always a pleasure. I appreciate you always being responsive. And I just really feel like I got the plug when I can contact you. Like, so because when I told people, they were like, Mahogany Jones. I'm like, yes, girl, tune in. Like, yes. I'm like, yes, she coming back. She coming back. Because like I said, as soon as I heard that song, I was like, oh, let me
just text her. When I got the text the day I put out, I was like, look at Rocky.
I'm like, girl, I'm like, she done reached into my soul once again with this song. She all up in my business. Like, it's like I had wrote the song myself. I'm like, come on. You got it. And it was perfect because my other guest that I was hoping, but that's how God works. Is what's meant to be is meant to be. That didn't come through, and I was glad. That was perfect. I heard your song, and I was like, oh, and let me wrap up Women's History Month with Mahogany. Let's do it. So, all right, love you, hun. Take care. All right, y'all make sure you
do the same. Congrats to your daughter doing big things, and much love to your family.
Girl, thank you. You too. I can't wait for the next update on Elle.
Yes.
All right, have a good night. Take care.
All right, good night.
All right, bye-bye. All right.